Welcome back. Today we're going to set up a form submission workflow based off the feedback form that we created before. So as you can see on the left nav, we have workflows, but first we want to check enable a module down here. And underneath workflows, we should see email workflow activities. So by default, my install had it disabled, so I've enabled that. So also under settings, you want to set up your email, your SMTP settings for this to actually work. And once that's done, you can go ahead and create the workflow. So we're going to call this one feedback form submission. Save that off, and so we want to scroll down and select dynamic form submitted. And we're going to start that. So this activity is the start of the workflow. Then we'll click on edit, and this is where we specify what form we're actually listing to. So we're going to get the feedback form, which we created on the previous video. So now we're going to drag in send email. And we can go ahead and attach that by pulling down the blue dot. And then on the email, we're going to edit that. And this is where we're actually going to send the emails to. So I'm just using my personal account for the demo. And in our subject, we're just going to say feedback form submitted. So anytime someone submits a feedback via the website, I'll get an email as well, which will help me see them, immediately instead of logging onto the website. So we'll go ahead and create the body using some tokens. So I'll show you how these tokens work once I learn how to spell IP address. And so the tokens, if you can see on the right hand side, you've got this little checkbox. So we'll check that, and that brings up tokens that we can select. So let's go ahead and get the form submission dot fields, and after the hyphen we put in the name of the field that we created earlier on the form. So this one is IP address. Now we'll get the full name. And again, select the field, and this one has a space, so it's full space dot name. You can go back to your form and look at your actual elements you created if need be. I know this one is actually called email. Then we'll create the actual feedback text area. And this one is called feedback. I'm going to get rid of the IP address actually, just so I don't have to blur it out for my privacy. Don't know what you hackers are going to do out there. Alright, so since this is HTML email, I'm going to put in HTML breakpoints between these so that they don't run along each other. So the workflow is done. I need to hit save now to actually save the workflow successfully as a whole. And if we go back to our workflows, we'll see that our workflow form submitted is there. So now we'll go ahead and go to our feedback form that we created earlier. And I'll go ahead and create some dummy content. tsuser@hotmail.com. And their feedback is this is a test. Okay, once they submit it, obviously this is going to save to the form submission. We'll get a thank you message, and I'm just going to show you now the actual email that came through eventually. Is full name test user. I've got my email address and feedback. And that wraps up how to create a form submission workflow. Thank you.